And at just about 9 o'clock on Friday morning, you are listening to KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. It is Friday morning at 9 o'clock, and that means it is once again time for Open Mic Radio. Let's get you rolling with one from the Daves. Back in a few minutes.
I know this one as we know this one as a Tommy Johnson tune. This is Never Drive a Stranger from Your Door.
go. Never drive a stranger from your door. Good advice from the Daves. Live at Rose Music Hall, February 13th, 2020. And that's sort of appropriate for today. I'll tell you why in just a little bit here. But welcome to the program. It is Open Mic Radio, Friday, June 19th. Juneteenth, as it were. It's Open Mic Radio coming to you from the Dalton Building in lovely downtown Columbia, Missouri. Sure glad to be back in the studio and on the air live again. And, my name is Mike Hagan. Good to be here with you. And glad you're here with me. What we do every week here on Open Mic Radio is feature interviews with Missouri's finest musicians and bands and hear a bunch of their songs. Whether you're listening over the traditional airwaves or worldwide over the internet, hello to everyone out there. And welcome to the show. Wish you all well. Hope you're all doing okay during some strange days. But, the show goes on. Nice summer morning today in mid-Missouri. Maybe a little rain over the weekend, but either way, I hope you enjoy the day. I'm excited for the show this morning and for the weekend in general. It's a big one if you're a live music fan. Before we get too busy, though, let's say thanks to Kyron and Ryan and Luke of The Adaptation for hanging out a couple weeks ago. Fun time with them, along with some great new songs. Keep your eyes and your ears on those fellas. Still working on that benefit project as well. I believe that will happen on June the 31st, but we'll talk more about that next week. Let's play one more from the Daves here, and we'll come back after I get my act together, and that'll be a few minutes from now. It's Mike, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 on the dial, and streaming all around this lovely blue planet at www.kopn.org. When we come back, Mike Nolan, General Manager of the Blue Note and Rose Music Hall. We'll talk about the reopening of Rose. And then we'll have at least one of the Daves and maybe a couple of them sometime a little bit later in the show. Anyway, it's Mike, Open Mic Radio. Let's play one from the Daves, again from Rose Music Hall. And we got a few minutes to get this done. So Highway 61. I'll be back in a few minutes. Well, I'm hoping for Highway 61. There it is.
Till I take a ride down that highway, baby. Check out old 61. Look out now. Hang here for a second. Baby, please tell her, hurry on home. So you see my baby, please tell her, hurry home. So take a ride down that highway, baby. Check out old 61.
Right on. Let's take a ride down Highway 61 once again. That's the Daves, live from Rose Music Hall in February of this year. Seems like a long time ago. But we are trying to get back to a little sense of normality. I tell you what, I've got my friend Mike Nolan on the line here with me. He's the general manager of the Blue Note and Rose Music Hall, and I'm glad he's with me this morning. You know, Mike, I didn't realize how much I would miss live music, and right. I sure did, and I'm excited that we've got a little bit of it coming back. So welcome to the program. Good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We're excited, too. It seems like it's been forever. So, yeah, excited to get back to a little bit of our normal and get some good tunes flowing through the air.
All right, so before we get there, though, let's let people in on who you are, if they're not familiar. Mike's been on the program here once or twice before, but a little bit about yourself. Anything new going on? I know since the last time you've been on the program, you're a new father, among other things.
Yeah, I've got she'll be 1 month tomorrow, but little baby girl. Her name's Dell Azalea. So new thing for me to master in life. I'm not very good at it so far, but I think that's the point. But yeah, so that's the biggest new change in my life since we last talked. So pretty awesome thing. But yeah, I'm excited too because one of the things as you know we're getting close to the birth, I was like, man, I really want my daughter to hear some live music. I hope I can introduce her to live music sometime before she's in kindergarten, you know? So,
right.
So yeah, this weekend's making me feel good for a lot of reasons. But,
all right. Well, that's fantastic. Congratulations. And and congratulations again on what's happening this weekend. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening at Rose. I know we've got something going on tonight, and then of course tomorrow you've got the Dave's planned. So let's talk a little bit about what you got going and maybe some of the protocols that are going to be in place, et cetera.
Yeah, so we're back and forth with the city and with our own internal ops team in all of the markets that we operate in, Madison, Wisconsin, and Charleston, South Carolina. Yeah, and a little bit of our So anyways, we've been having a lot of meetings and discussions to kind of fine-tune the perfect plan and make sure everyone's safe, it's something feasible that we can actually execute, and figure out, the best way to bring live music back. So we figured also with having a giant outdoor space at Rose Park and, our happy hour style events that we do every Friday and occasionally on Saturdays, which obviously we're replicating that this weekend and for a few weekends going forward. So yeah, we've put a good amount of time and effort into it. And I'm hoping that, all of our patrons will bear with us. This isn't necessarily the final draft. We're obviously going to listen to people's input and feedback once we actually get the ball rolling. But yeah, so I think the first thing that people will notice that's different is we are charging a cover for these events. Typically, the happy hour programming has been free. We are charging a cover. There's just a lot of added expenses and overhead between extra staff, extra just stuff that you need to keep people distanced and safe, and sanitizers and porta potties and all that stuff. So in order to make ends meet and also keep the bands paid and for their time and talent, we have to charge a $5 cover, which, I'm hoping that people will be okay with too, considering it's been so long. I know I would be more than happy to pay $5 to get out and see some music in the park.
I'm with you there. I'm certainly not. The $5 isn't going to stop me, and I think we'll find out what kind of support the music scene has here and how much people really missed it. I have a feeling there's going to be plenty of people there. So
I think so too. And then once you get in, we because of the inside of Rose Music Hall is so small and compact, we determined amongst ourselves and with the city that it would be best to keep that closed for now, just because between lines for the bar, lines for food, lines for the bathroom, it's possible that it gets pretty congested in there. It's pretty hard to maintain distance. So the inside of the building will actually be closed. We came up with a creative way to have a bar set up right at the where that garage door is that opens up. And we have some bike racks set up for kind of like chutes for people, like an entryway and an exit way. There still is going to be food on the patio, which that's another new thing is with the departure of our dear friend Pepe and his delicious tacos. We have now got Gerald Nathan in our kitchen, and he does the South Florida style chicken and ribs, and his barbecue is absolutely amazing. So we're excited to have him on board, and I think his food will be a great fit for everything we do there. And so everyone come hungry because there will be food. We'll have some different bar setups. We have like a Coca-Cola trailer out in the park that I'm sure some people have seen when we've done larger events out there. So we'll actually have 2 bars in the park because we have to operate almost like a concession stand instead of just bellying up to the bar like people are used to. There'll be plenty of time to get drinks. You'll just have to wait patiently and wait your turn. And we've got ways to keep things touchless. We can turn our computer screens to the patron. They can swipe their own card. One person's transacting the money, another person is either making the drink or opening the beer can to kind of stop any cross-contamination there. And then beyond that, we've spaced out some seating in the patio on the park. So when you arrive, we won't seat you necessarily like at a restaurant, but we'll ask you how big your party is. And then based on that number, we will recommend an area for you to sit. Obviously, there might be some blazing sun in the park, and if you don't want to sit right at the one table that's available, you're welcome to spread out in the grass area that's still open. We'll have some tables and chairs like right in front of the stage. We'll have some picnic tables in the back of the park. We'll have some cocktail tables and chairs on the patio, and then like the northeastern part of the park and the eastern part of the park will all be open grass for if somebody brings a folding chair or a blanket. With that too, we just ask that everyone is respectful of everyone's distance. And, if you plop your blanket down and you see the person next to you kind of giving you a weird eye, maybe slide over a couple feet.
Right. Okay. So I think it's great. Obviously, you put a lot of thought into it, and I'm looking forward to see what you've done. Tonight you have Flyover Country. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
And that's 5:00?
Yep. So 5:00 doors. That's the other thing I should mention. So people are used to our happy hour tunes kind of starting concurrent with doors. We are starting music an hour later this weekend just to give everyone plenty of time to get through the line to buy tickets, find their seat, get a drink. And we thought that would be nice to have a little cushion there. So, we'll open at 5. Music will start at 6. We've asked the artists to play, roughly 2 hours with an intermission at some point of their choosing. So I imagine things will be wrapped up about 8:30 or so.
Okay. All right.
And then, if we get through this weekend without a hitch and we're able to fine tune some things, or, who knows, maybe we're able to add a second band going forward and extend things into the night a little bit longer. But, don't want to bite off more than we can chew for the first go around.
Right. So. No, I appreciate your caution. All right. Hey, hang in there for a second. I think we've got Dave Dearnley on the line with us too. Can you stick around for another minute, Mike? Say hi to Dave.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Dearnley, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Dave?
How are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
Yeah, doing good this morning. Thrilled about this weekend.
I'd like to say a special good morning to our new daddy there.
Yeah, how about it, huh?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Dearnley.
Yeah, he sounds like he's actually had some sleep, so I don't know.
Yeah, last night I think we had a couple 3.5-hour stretches. It's all still kind of a blur. I look like a mess right now, but luckily you guys can't see me.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Radio this morning, so.
There you go.
All right. Well, David, I am excited about this weekend. You guys are playing tomorrow night. Same setup, Mike. Tomorrow night, 5:00 doors. Music at 6.
Yep, you got it. Same setup. Rinse and repeat, just with different artists.
Okay, very good. So, David, what about you? What have you been doing for all the folks out there since it's been sort of quarantine time for the last 3 months?
Oh, I've just been kind of hanging out here at the Bluff. I've been splitting my time. I've got a place over in Parkville, and I go back and forth over there. Just kind of taking it easy. And, we played a little bit of music. The days have had some socially distant porch parties kind of things, and
nice.
So we played a little bit, but it's just, it's been kind of weird. I'm pretty much a hermit out here, so, quarantining really is not much of a factor for me, but not being able to play and, going to town and seeing a few folks now and then when I feel like it has been a little strange. And, I think everybody's a little bit nervous about things, but, I'm ready to play at Rose, and it sounds like those guys have done everything they possibly can. So, let's just hope it goes off good.
Yeah. I agree. Hey, Mike, what? I know we don't want to look too far ahead, but have you thought about some of the festivals, that we've done out in the park over the last few years? And I'm kind of curious about if you have any loose plans, at least for the rest of the summer.
Yes, we've had a lot of hypothetical discussions. It's one challenge that we've faced is I feel like anytime we come up with even halfway to a plan, we get new news, whether it be from the local government or the state government or from the CDC or something like that. So a lot of our future plans, are tentative and they're going to be based on what we find out. But yeah, certainly we're trying to come up with creative ways to do some of our programming with reduced capacities. And none of this is set in stone, but literally just yesterday we were talking about Fortune Fest that we always do in August.
One of my favorites, yeah.
Yeah, with our buddies from Logboat. So, we were talking about, is it possible to, maybe slice that up into a couple days where we can just have the reduced capacity in the park and, with a lot of the big nationally touring bands not touring at the moment, can we do it with, almost like a throwback Fortune Fest with some of our local talent or regional talent that has played it in the past, like Fortune Fest alumni or something like that. So it's kind of cool. It's forced us. I mean, obviously everything we do uses the creative side of your brain, but it's forced us to
really
kind of tap into that side of things even more. So, so I would imagine that we come up with some stuff to save a couple of those bigger events that people are used to seeing, or figure out a way to execute them in a different way. But again, it all depends. If the science changes, or there's all of a sudden a vaccine or whatever. Who knows? We're just kind of taking it one day and 1 week at a time, and hoping that when we get to a particular event, we have all the knowledge that we need to execute it safely and effectively, and make it fun too, because that's the other thing. In this planning process, we were like, if
it's still got to be fun,
Yeah, if you have stuff that if it's so restricted that nobody can enjoy themselves while they're there, then there's no point in doing it. So that's why we think right now is like a good time for what we're trying to do and the amount of people that we can fit out there. So yeah, fingers crossed. One other thing actually that dawned on me after I spoke earlier about new policies and stuff that people might not be used to at our happy hours is we are going forward, just for the interim, we are going to be 21 and up at our events, and we aren't going to be allowing dogs. Dogs and children both like to run around and mingle in other groups, and it's kind of hard to keep distancing with that going on. So if you're used to bringing your young ones or your pet to happy hours, find a babysitter or leave them at home for the next couple weeks until we can, figure out a better plan or something like that. So
okay. Hey, David, what are you hearing from your musician friends as far as their plans? Are people excited to get back out and playing? I'm sure they have to be, but there's also a level of caution, I'm sure. What are you hearing from sort of the what's the zeitgeist in the music scene, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I haven't talked to a whole lot of people from other groups, but I know the Daves collectively, just a couple nights ago, we kind of had a little group discussion amongst ourselves about how we all felt about playing as well, whether it was something that we wanted to do and not only for our safety, but for, the safety of everybody, not only the people that are coming to the show, but the people that work at Rose. And we all kind of thought, this sounds like a pretty good plan they have. The Mike and the folks down at Rose, I've known those guys forever, and they're people that I trust, and the people that I think have everybody's, benefit and safety in mind as well. So we collectively, as a group of Daves, decided that we were all good with going ahead. That does mean we don't have a little apprehension like I'm sure everybody does.
Yeah.
But, man, music is a big hole in people's lives that enjoy live music, and that's got to be worth something. So
it's a huge deal, and I say this personally, but I also know from speaking to many of the friends and acquaintances that you all know, and it's a big part of lots of our lives, and also I think it's important to recognize that isolation over long periods of time isn't a good thing, and we do need a little bit of socialization and the chance to see our friends and enjoy their company, if it be with precautions being taken. But still, I think that there's a benefit there, and the music is certainly a part of that. So I appreciate what you guys are all doing, Mike, and the bands and everybody involved. So.
Well, and as far as I'm concerned, having the park outside there at Rose that's a crown jewel in Columbia's local music scene.
My God.
Has been since the day they started it, and even more so now. So,
boy, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing I should mention too. It's the first time our technical and production team has had this much time to really fine tune their craft and upgrade some stuff. We actually, right before the pandemic, we got a plan approved to buy some new gear and a new PA and stuff like that, which I'm glad I got that approved when I did, because I probably wouldn't get that approved right now. But so yeah, we've got a rockin' sound system for the park now, and it's super crisp, it's super clear.
It was pretty good before.
It was great before, and now it's even better, and we were able to upgrade the system inside Rose that eventually people will be able to see, hopefully. We've got some new lights and stuff, which I don't know if it'll be dark enough for Dylan to play with those this weekend, but yeah, we're really excited for people to get their eyes and ears on what we got out there.
All right, well, you two, I'm looking forward to it, so we'll wrap it up here in a second. I'll play some more music here from the Daves. What else you want to wrap up with, Mike? Anything else you want to share with folks?
I would just say any of our people who are regulars or not regulars, before you come down, I would definitely advise taking a peek at our website or our Facebook page. The last thing I want anybody to do is be surprised by any of the protocols or any of the procedures. I'd love for everyone to be slightly familiar with it. We even did a little time-lapse walkthrough video yesterday of what some things look like. So take a peek before you come and see us. Make sure it's stuff that you're cool with and stuff that you're okay with abiding by. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing everybody.
All right. Sounds good. I appreciate it, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. Hey, Dave, hang in there, okay?
All righty.
All right, that Mr. Mike Nolan, general manager of the Blue Note and Rose Music Hall. The reopening of Rose tonight, as a matter of fact, Flyover Country, doors at 5 o'clock, and you've got music beginning at 6 o'clock, and then the same situation tomorrow night with the Daves. How many Daves are we going to have tomorrow? You got a full complement?
Well, we're going to have, let's see, we're going to have 5 for sure.
Okay.
It's a lot of Daves.
Let's see, Dave. Let me count here. There's Dave, and Dave. Yeah.
I think you forgot about
our 6th Dave. But yeah, we will have a group of us anyway to assault your ears.
All right, well, sounds good. We're going to hear a little bit of that assault, or at least a taste of what it might sound like here. I'll be back with Mr. Dave Dearnley. Thanks again to Mike Nolan. Take care of yourself, Mike. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Thanks, guys. Yep, take care.
All right, this is Green River. Hey, Dave, let's talk real quick about this recording live at Rose. I didn't know that this was released. I thought that Now and Then was the last recording that you and Dave had released, and sure enough, when I went snooping around this morning, I found this live record. You've got 6 awesome songs, and tell me a little bit about. I tell you what, we're going to talk about that when I come back. All right, let's play this one, and then we'll talk about this live recording that the Daves made a few months back in February. It's Mike. You're listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia 89.5 FM, streaming on the web at kopn.org, and for me, you can find information at www.mikehagan.com. Click on that little button that says Open Mic Radio, and you can subscribe to the podcast. And then if you miss the program on Friday mornings, it won't matter because it'll magically appear in your podcast player, and you can check it out and listen to it whenever you want, okay? All right, once again, it's Open Mic Radio on the web at mikehagan.com, and this is the Daves live at Rose Music Hall. It's going to happen again tomorrow night. This is called Green River. Yeah, ride down the Green River with the Daves live at Rose Music Hall back in February of this year. And I've got one of the Daves with me on the line here, Mr. Dave Dearnley. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, man, tell me a little bit more about this recording.
Well, it's kind of one of those deals that, being the geniuses that we are, we always stand around going, wow, I wish we had some live recordings of our stuff. And I think Dylan overheard us. Maybe Dave approached him. But anyway, it was one of those deals he was like, yeah, man, we can do that easily. So we had that show in February, and we brought Dylan a little thumb drive, and he plugged it into his magic board back there and recorded everything. And then we just cleaned it up a little bit. Will actually up at Central Cellar did it. Yeah, it was a mix. We didn't get like individual tracks. It was just a live mix on the board. Yeah. But he did a little magic with it, and it turned out okay.
Hey, we got somebody that joined us here. I got a feeling that it might be Dave Hickerson, but you never know. It might be an impersonator as well. Who we got on the line here with us?
Hey, that's not the real Dave Dearnley you're talking to. It's a trap, Mike.
I knew it was going to be Andy. How you doing there, sir?
We're doing pretty good. I'm Dave Justin, and we've got Dave Andy here too.
All right.
The best guys from Hickerson Lawn and Landscape,
right
here to serve you.
I figured you guys were out doing the landscaping thing this morning. How long you been at it this morning?
Oh, since about 8:00 yesterday morning.
Since time immemorial.
Right.
They don't really work that much, although they do work quite a bit.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Hey, so Justin, will you be one of the Daves that are performing tomorrow night at Rose?
I don't know if I'm not too busy working.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm totally planning on it. I'm hoping the weather cooperates with us.
And Andy, I'm guessing you'll probably be down there.
I won't, actually. The Hooten Hollers have our first show back since the quarantine, and we're up in Mount Carroll, Illinois.
Up in Illinois. Yeah, sort of central western Illinois.
That's up near your neck of the woods, Mike.
Yeah, that's not too far from where I grew up. Where I grew up, a little bit west of there. But yeah, tell us a little bit about what's happening up there. Is that a festival of some sort, Andy?
It's not. It's a show at a place called the Rhythm Section Amphitheater in Mount Carroll, Illinois. It's a pretty cool spot. These folks have had an ATV park in that location for a long time, and over the last couple of years, they built their own amphitheater, and it's really it's beautiful. And
you guys have played there before, I guess.
We have. We played there last season. We were their first show ever, and now we're coming back for our first show in several months.
Wow, fantastic. How are Kelly and John doing?
Oh, pretty good. I think everybody's ready to get back to work, although I don't think live music will return in quite the same way as we're used to for some time still.
I think I agree with you, but we're sure glad to see it coming back a little bit, even if it is in a different fashion. And I'm really glad that you guys are going to be out there doing your thing again. It's what you do,
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I hope you have a great show there. And Justin, tell me about what you're thinking for tomorrow night. Are you excited to be back on the stage?
I am. I've spent so much time alone in the last several months that I'm really apprehensive to be out in public at all. But I'm also extremely bored and lonely, and I'm really excited to get up and play and, talk to people that aren't kitty cats.
Me.
And Andy.
And Andy. Right.
Let me tell you, Andy and I were great friends until we started working together.
He makes me do all the tough stuff.
Yeah, making a tough guy out of him yet.
Yeah, man, he's pulling rank on you, Andy. All right, you guys.
You ever don't get weirded out if you start hearing him call me sir about town.
All right, you two. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Justin, and Andy, you too. I hope you have a good day out there mastering the grass, and you have a great show up there in Illinois. Be safe up there, Andy. And Justin, I will catch up with you tomorrow evening.
Yep, that sounds good, Mike. We'll see you later. Later, Dave.
Later,
Have a good
Justin.
one, y'all.
Bye, Andy.
All right, see you guys. All right, Andy Rehm, drummer for the wonderful Hooten Hollers, along with Kelly Everett on the big sax, and Johnny Randall, of course, playing guitar. So catch the Hooten Hollers out and about if you get the chance. They'll be doing it up in Mount Carroll, Illinois, a little bit west of my neck of the woods, as Andy pointed out. All right, Dave Dearnley still with me here on the air, though. And, yeah, Dave, I'm pretty excited about this live record. I'm going to play another one here before we roll out. But what else you want to chat about? We got a couple more minutes. You've been doing I know one thing that you've been doing a lot of since we've been spending a lot of time alone is photography.
Yeah. Well, I pretty much kind of always do that. It's just a thing I do. I've been driving back and forth to the Kansas City area about once a week, and I have an aversion to driving on I-70, so I always take a 2-lane highway and try to stop at weird little places and see things I haven't seen. I always have my little camera with me, and it's not really a focused thing that I do. It's just some days, man, pictures are everywhere, and other days I never get the camera out.
Yeah. Well, I know you do a lot of sort of roadside America shots, like you're mentioning, from some of these strange places in the middle of nowhere. But my favorites of the photos that I see of yours, at least, are the ones that you take of birds. You really have an eye for really neat birds, and you've done some great work with photography of those flying critters. So anyway, kudos to your bird photos. I just love them.
Well, that's kind of the benefit of living out in the woods. People are always sending me a message and wanting to know how I feed them and get into comments. Like, I don't. I just sit on my deck drinking coffee in the morning, and they're out there. But I'm kind of fascinated by them, really, and I'm lucky enough to be in a place where I see a lot of them. And
man,
just sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
I have a lot of out of focus, and like half of them flying by, and those kind of pictures too. But you just never see those.
Right, we get the good ones, right?
Yeah. But I something I enjoy.
All right. What about your guitar collection? Did you do any work or anything new in your collection over the course of these months to keep yourself busy?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I just bought one this morning. But yeah, actually, I've kind of thinned a few out. I'm, getting down to where I don't have much room to put them anymore. So I have thinned a few out. But yeah, guitars are. I have a weakness for them. There's basically none of them that I don't like. Even old and beat up and shitty ones, or bad ones. That. So it's right. What I do.
Yep. I know it, brother. All right. Well, good, man. I'm going to say thanks for your time, and I'll wrap it up with you here, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow night. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate what you guys are doing to help get the live music scene up and rolling again. And I know it's a little bit of an unknown for everybody, but I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Well, we appreciate what you do too, Mike. Not only us, but I'm sure everybody does. So, looking forward to seeing y'all later. So,
all right.
Adios.
Sounds good. Take care, Dave. All right, Dave Dearnley, wonderful guitar player, singer-songwriter, all of the above, cool dude, great photographer, all that. You can catch him tomorrow night with a bunch of other Daves at Rose Music Hall. Doors at 5 o'clock, music at 6, probably going until 8 or 8:30. And, fantastic stuff from the Daves. We're going to play another one from them on the way out here, but I've got a couple minutes to talk with y'all, and I will say that it's great to be back here at the station. I appreciate what everyone has done here at KOPN to keep this radio station rolling through one of the strangest times in its history, perhaps the strangest. I don't think ever in the history of KOPN up until now has the station actually been closed for any length of time. There, for many, many years, 45 years, there's always been somebody behind this microphone. But 3 months ago, that all changed, and as a group, we had to figure out how to keep doing it. And I will say that the leader of the group, Mr. Tim Pilcher, is the guy that made it happen. And if you are out there listening to this program and you appreciate KOPN and you appreciate Open Mic Radio and all the other wonderful shows and programs that are brought to you here from KOPN, it's not a pledge drive week or anything like that right now. But let me tell you, we can really use your support always. And the people, the staff and the general manager here did just an absolutely Herculean job, an amazing effort to keep this radio station on the air for a period of time when we couldn't actually be up here in the station, in the studio, and it has never happened before. Tim came up with a remarkably cool automation system, which is now sort of evolving, and it's actually going to be a big part of the way we sort of operate the station from here on out. It's actually been a major upgrade in a technological sense. We've got a new young woman helping out in the office. Her name is Mallory. She's doing a fantastic job. The board has been supportive throughout all of this, and the listeners, you all have been supportive as well, and we sure appreciate it. And and if you don't, if you're not a member of KOPN, if you're just a listener, and there are many of you out there who aren't members of the station, it's not a lot of money, $60 for a year membership, and you can become a part of this amazing project that's been going on nearly 50 years here, right in downtown Columbia, and I'm more proud than ever to be a part of it. So anyway, consider it, and I appreciate all the support that we've had over the years. Now, for this program, Open Mic Radio, I still can't have people live in the studio for some time, so we'll probably be doing a lot of this stuff over the telephone. If you have music or are a musician, or you know people that you'd like to have me feature on the program, go to the website. It's mikehagan.com. Click on the button that says Open Mic Radio, or email or whatever, Instagram, Twitter, and send me a note. Any and all artists are welcome on this program, as long as your music is reasonably good. But I'm looking for professionals, of course. But I've got all genres welcome, all styles, and all types of musicians. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what the color of your skin is. I care about the music that you make, and I want to share it with other people. And please, I don't have a lot of time to go searching myself. I have a regular job that I do 5 days a week, and a lot of the music that you hear on this program is from people who have made the initiative, taken the time to send me a note and get a hold of me, and then I know who they are, and then I can start playing the music. I'm familiar with what I'm familiar with. I don't know everybody, and I don't know all the stuff around. So please feel free to contact me and share your music with me, and I'll do my best to share it with other people. Okay. All right. It's been a thrill and a pleasure as always. Thank you for being here. We've got one more from the Daves coming up here to finish things off. It's called Candyman. Catch them tomorrow night once again at Rose, 5 o'clock doors, 6 o'clock show. And stick around for the wonderful Diana Moxon and Speaking of the Arts. That'll be coming up in just about 4 minutes. I'll be back with you next week with Ruth Acuff and Jeff Mueller. I had the opportunity to speak with them yesterday, and I'll share that with you next week. It's Mike, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. Take care.
All right. Debate settled. This is John Hooten. Hey, Candyman. Oh, Candyman. Don't you stand too close to the Candyman. He's the candy baby in your hand, Candyman. Oh, Candyman. Well, you had a Candyman looking mighty thick. You must be stuck on the Candyman stick. Hey, thanks, y'all. That's John Hooten. Thanks for coming out on this really snowy, kind of crappy night. It's cold as ass out there.